Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be working on this Mercedes. I think it's let's see, it should be a C350 or E350, I don't remember. Oh, E350. Okay, so we're going to be changing the front brake pads and rotors. Already done the other side, and I left this side with the sensor to show the video. So you're going to grab your 17mm. That's a 6-point, not a 12-point. Don't do that. There you go. And please don't comment on whether I have a jack stand or not. That's none of your business. All you gotta do is just watch and learn. I don't need your safety tips. Please don't act like I don't know what I'm doing in the comment section. Anyways. Okay, so you don't really need to do anything inside the car because you're only changing the fronts. If you're changing the rear, I'll go ahead and make a video about that when I get the parts, but you will need to do an electronic parking brake reset, and I'll show you that if you want. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect this. So in this case, the customer actually forgot to buy a new sensor, which is okay, you know, it's not the worst mistake, but in this case his sensor wasn't going off, or it wasn't actually telling him to oh, actually I think you have to do this. Yeah, you gotta do that, and then you can pull out the sensor. We kind of like almost broke it, but still manageable. So we're gonna grab a hammer and a small punch. This is a hole punch, but super tiny. You can use a small screwdriver as well. See that? Okay, now you can transfer to your flathead, because those effers are kind of annoying. Don't smack the sensor if you can. Now we created some space. Okay. You know, we're gonna do the same thing with this one. I'm gonna stick a flathead here, and the other flathead exactly in the other direction. Now we're gonna go at both. Preferably you actually use the big one to do the recessing, and then you just use the small one to hold the other one in the recessed position, so that way you don't mess up your small flathead. We can take those out. Those don't look bad, actually. I'm surprised why the customer wants them done, but none of my business. Customer wants something, I'm gonna do it for them. So if you want, you can go ahead and clean all of that. You can use a brass brush. I already put my brass brush back in the, what do you call it, in the car, so kind of don't want to take it out again. So you can just use brake cleaner and a shop towel or a microfiber towel. So there's a 21mm right here. I'm using a flex, I'm sorry, a swivel socket. Just having a hard time squeezing my head and the impact and the glasses at the same place, because that thing is horrible. You can actually let it lean, because this is aluminum and it will not put stress on the line. I can literally lift it up on the line. So preferably you have a holder, but it doesn't really matter. Grab the towel. We're gonna clean all the brake pads, walk back and forth. Okay, that's good. Same thing on the other side. Okay, shining. Not so much, actually. Now it is. Okay, same thing on the other side. Use the right hand for the left side and the left hand for the right side, so you and making sure that screw goes in the middle because the hole is slightly bigger than the screw. See that? So that way the lug bolts go in there perfectly. Okay, so our second thing to do is put in this back, and I should have the two big bolts. So the lower one always goes first because it makes your life way easier to put the top one after. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them. Okay, now it went on. Now we can go ahead and put the top one. Okay. So these ones get torqued up to ugga-dugga foot-pounds. Just don't tighten them too much. That's all I gotta tell you. Alright, so if you notice, the old ones say R and R, right and right. So this is R and this is R, and the other ones are gonna say LL. Just gotta make sure you match them. So this is matching and this is matching. That's perfect. They both go on each whatever side. They look the same, so you can put them on either side. So you're gonna go ahead and put some brake grease on the side. Speaking a little country language today, or country slang. You can grease them as much as you want, low key. Alright. Just remember, the brake pad wear sensor goes in the outer one, not the inner one. There's no problem if the grease goes on the side, but I prefer not. Okay, this one goes in here. Perfect. Now we're gonna grab our brand new hardware. Now what I like to do, since this went in slightly hard on the other side, is just put a little bit of grease on it. This doesn't have any up or down side, so you can put it however way you want. I would prefer putting the top one first because I know it's gonna give me a hard time with the brake sensor in the way. So, and the first one's always the easiest because there's no pressure. So here goes nothing. All right, perfect. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the lower one. Okay, this is going to be a little bit harder since the brake pad sensor is in the way, but what we can do is, let's see what I can do. I'll grab one of these bolts right here and just hammer it. Don't worry, it's not going to mess up the threads. Just push it on something. Perfect. Alright, those are in, blah blah blah. Let's put the brake pad wear sensor. I think I don't really need to take that stupid thing off. It'll clip right into it. And all you gotta do is just press this thing right in here, and you are good to go. Let me see. Perfect. So there's like a magnet inside, and whenever it gets close to the rotor, it just sends a signal like, hey, I'm close to the rotor. Let me see if I put it in correctly, bro. Just put a little bit of grease here, put a grease there. Perfect. And this gets tucked behind here. Wonderful. This is all the way in, and this is a little bit. Oh, never mind, it went in. All right, that looks good. Rotor's in. The 2 bolts in the back are tight. Rotor's clean with the retaining bolt. Sensors in. All the hardware's in, and those are hammered and bottomed out. So we are good to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the wheel back. Oops. All right. Now, if you're trying to align the bolt holes, just grab on the rotor and rotate it. Boom. Now I'm going to show you that nothing happened to the bolt. Just going to screw it back on. Yep, that happened because I put my knee in the wrong direction. Okay. So crisscross pattern, we tighten this one first. So this one, or star pattern actually. All right, back again. Wonderful. So the wheel fell slightly. Go ahead and just push on that brake shield slightly to the back. Over here as well. Perfect. Wonderful. No contact anywhere. Good. Cool. Alright, so now that we're done with this, what we gotta do is go inside. This is my scanner. I was using it because I thought I'm gonna do the rear, but apparently the customer had the front only. So I'm gonna start the car. And all you gotta do is just pump the brakes ever so slightly. You don't wanna go all the way down. Just slightly, 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 slightly. Now it's stiff, and that's exactly what we need. Also, as you can see, there's no brake reminder or anything that he has to do to change the brakes because that sensor is still okay, so it doesn't look like we need the sensor. Anyways, that's going to be it for the video. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to actually drop another short about how to release the electronic parking brake or put it in service mode and then take it out of service mode. I don't know how to do it with the steering wheel, but if you have a bidirectional scanner like mine, this is the X-Tool D7S, I can go ahead and, well, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a video, and I'll link it in the description. So other than that, see you later.